Motorola Moto G84, 24 hours later, let's go.
Aye, what's that? I heard the block's under attack. Tell them demons there to fall back, cause the water will leave a man so.
Yes, people, it's man like Jamo. We're out here with the Motorola G84. Now, before I go any further, big shout to the guys at Motorola UK for sending me down this G84 to have a little play with, test out, and let you guys know whether it's worth its £249 asking price. Now, let's get straight into things, starting with the specs. And first up, the screen. No, wait, hold on 1 second. Right, now for the screen, we've got a 6.5-inch display at full HD resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, and we've got the on-screen fingerprint sensor on deck. Now for the rest of the specs, the processor, we got a Snapdragon 695 octa-core ting, 12GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, a 5000 mAh battery, dual camera ting on the back going up to 50 megapixels on the main sensor, and a 16 megapixel selfie ting on the front in the top center. Moving on to design. On the right hand side, we've got a little volume rocker and power buttons. These feel nice, clicky and tactile. Now on the bottom of the phone, we've got the USB-C port. We've got a 3.5mm headphone jack for you cable warriors out there. And we got one of the two stereo speakers. Now on the left hand side, obviously we got a little port for the SIM card tray and the micro SD card tray. Then at the top of the device, we're pretty much just chilling. I think that's probably a little microphone thing going on there. Furthermore, the way Motorola are designing these G flagships that they got going on at the moment, they are looking premium, they look money. In fact, I would even go as far as to say these look more expensive than Motorola's actual flagships, fam. No. Tell me if I'm lying. £249 device, £700, £800 device, yeah? Which one looks more pricey to you? Now, obviously, specs and the design of this thing is just one part of the equation. Yes, it looks the part, and with what it's got in terms of specs, it does what it needs to do on paper. But what about in real life? Well, first up, we need to give it the most important test that a phone needs to pass minimal standards, and that is the gaming test. Now, of course, we have to start off with Horizon Chase, which has got to be hands down my favorite of all time game for playing on Android. I feel there are better games on Android, but in terms of it being a game on your phone that you can jump in and jump off, feels good with controller and it feels good with touchscreen controls. This is the game, and it plays wonderfully on the Moto G84. Wonderfully on most phones, to be honest. Definitely try it out if you haven't already. Next up, we did some Xbox Game Pass cloud streaming, fam. And even with the Wi-Fi chip that we've got on the Moto G84, we were able to browse through the game library, load up a game, and start playing some Gears of War 5 with no issue. Gears of War felt really good playing it on the Moto G84, especially when I had it connected to the MGX Pro controller that you can see here from the guys at Nikon. I've left a little link to that controller in the description section below, just in case you guys are interested. But yeah, definitely for game streaming and just general gaming, this little Moto G84 is definitely pushing. Now, one of the things I also love about this phone, in fact, all Motorola phones, is that they're pretty much stock Android with a couple additions, like twisting the phone to turn the camera on kind of thing. There you go, a little bit of lag there, a bit of camera lag, but there you go, man, showing you what it is. And also chopping the phone twice to turn on the torch. Alright, you get it? Just useful things that you use on your phone all the time kind of thing. Now, in terms of performance for casual things like scrolling TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, we're all good to go. You can doom scroll to your heart's content. This phone hasn't slowed down for me in the past 24 hours anyway. But when you're looking into more intense stuff, now I'm talking about downloading some photos that I've taken on other phones, videos as well, and then putting them into CapCut and then editing them to make reels and TikToks to upload and things like that, it doesn't really handle well, fam. Like when I'm trying to do a little bit of CapCut and I'm just trying to upload the videos onto the timeline, this thing takes ages, and it must be the Snapdragon 695 that isn't really able to cut video as efficiently as its higher end processor brothers and sisters and thing, innit? But obviously, like I said, I'm not mad. It can do video gaming, so that's the least of my worries anyway. Now, one of the things I keep on forgetting to do when I do these little reviews is just do a little Wi-Fi speed test. I mean, okay, my router is just here though. Like, my router is literally just here. It's only getting 300 out of the gigabit internet speeds that are available. So you're getting, okay, the upload speed is there, but it looks like the download speed is not where I'd expect it to be. Now let's just try that same test on a more expensive Motorola flagship. Let's see what we're getting. And we're getting nearly 500. Yeah, so we're getting nearly 500, 800, 600. So we're getting a slower Wi-Fi card in the Motorola G84. Still fast enough, but it's not going to give you the full capability of what your Wi-Fi network is going to give you in terms of download speeds. Another thing I'm kind of impressed with is the speakers on this thing. Now, it's got the kind of big speaker down here and the little speaker at the top, but it still is stereo. And as you can see, whilst I'm playing games, it's more than enough to give you that kind of immersion when you're playing a little game or doing a little game streaming. Just have a listen now.
Keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Great way to start my first mission in 25 years. This is Keegan. Anyone read me?
Now, I won't comment too much on battery life at the moment because I haven't got all of my apps synchronizing 24/7 on this phone yet. I've given it one charge since I unboxed it, but at the moment we're at 87%. It's looking quite decent, but I won't know until I get all my email accounts signed in on here, all my YouTube information signed in on here, and all that kind of stuff signed in. And that's when my notifications really start jumping onto the phone, and then we'll know what the 5,000 milliamp hour battery is really saying. But anyway, guys, Motorola G84, first impressions 24 hours later. It's looking good. It's definitely looking good for £249. I can't wait to see if it stands the test of time. Let's have a little look back at it 1 month later.